was wondering if it's possible to take money from a 401k and use that to invest in real estate. And if so, would that be a smart idea? Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. So wants to know about investing in real estate with a 401k. So yes, number one, the answer is yes, absolutely. You can use a 401k to invest in real estate. So let me and I'll unpack that in just a second. For those of you that are new to that strategy, we'll get there in a second. Your second part of your question is, should I do it? Now, I'm not a financial advisor. Financial advisors, in my opinion, are driven by money because they are controlled by the companies they work for, and they make money off of managing your money. So I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do with your money. I can simply tell you that, hey, I have done this. Okay, this was how I bought my first few properties, using my 401k, borrowing against your 401k. Now, there are a couple of different strategies to keep in mind when it comes to your 401k. You can borrow from it or withdraw from your 401k. Now, withdrawing from your 401k incurs a penalty. Okay, this is something you need to be aware of. Now, during COVID rules and what Congress did under their different stimulus packages, they allowed you to pull money out of your 401k at a higher level, I think upwards of $100,000 without a penalty. You could claim a hardship. You could claim basically a COVID hardship and be able to take that money out without incurring that tax penalty. So again, depending on when you're listening to this episode, those provisions probably have expired. So withdrawing is different than borrowing. Now, what I did was borrow from my 401k. I was still working at my job. I had a 401k with Fidelity at the time. And I went onto the 401k website for Fidelity. I think it was like my401k.com. And within 2 or 3 clicks, I was able to borrow a certain amount out of my 401k. Remember, it's my money, okay? That's just sitting there in my own retirement plan. I should be able to access that. Okay, so for those people that are listening, they're like, no, my God, you should never do that. Yes, you absolutely can. It's your money. That's how I was able to buy my first few rental properties. Now, I borrowed the maximum amount at the time, which was $50,000. I borrowed $50,000 and I was able to use that as 2 down payments to buy 2 rental properties. Okay. And so you can do that exact same thing. And then I was able to pay it back through my payroll. So every time I would get a paycheck, a certain amount of that was going to pay back that $50,000 loan. Now it's a loan to yourself from the bank of you. It's not a separate bank. It's your money, loaning it to yourself. The best part about this strategy is that you can, when you're paying it back, well, there's a couple of parts to this. Number one, you get the interest. The interest is also a write-off on your taxes, the mortgage interest, okay? And then even beyond that, there is a maximum amount that you are allowed to contribute to a retirement plan every year. But when you're paying your own plan back out of your payroll, you actually can exceed the amount that goes into your yearly contribution limit. And forgive me for not knowing this number off the top of my head. I think it's 17,000 per year. It used to be 16,500, I think, and I know they switch it every year, and I can't keep up with it. Anyway, it's roughly around the $17,000 amount that you're allowed to contribute to your 401k. It's less if you make more or you have a higher net income. All of those things are a little bit different, but nevertheless, it's right around that number. And what's great is you can actually exceed that cap by paying yourself back. You're allowed to go over that federal limit, and you get the interest benefits from it being a loan. So it's a loan to yourself, and that interest you're basically paying yourself, and those interest payments become a write-off. That loan becomes a write-off. It's a brilliant strategy. You can also then pick up a cash flowing performing asset with the money that you have in your 401k. So I highly recommend it. Am I encouraging you to go and do it? I can't do that. I can tell you simply that I've done it, and it's a strategy that I've told people for many, many years is a just absolutely killer idea, one that you should take advantage of if it is something you want to and you have the means to do it. So thank you, Jonathan, for that question. Please leave us a voicemail message. You can do so by going to our website. Go to morrisinvest.com. We'll have a link in the description below. We have so many great resources on the website. Heck, if you want to start working with us as a client, we're building about 500 properties this year in the year 2022. And so book a call with us, see if it's a fit for you. It's brand new construction built from the ground up in the best rental markets in the country. Our team works with our property management team to make sure that a tenant is placed in the property relatively right around the closing time or as close to closing as possible because of new construction. And the closing, maybe a tenant moves in a few weeks later after the construction is complete. Give us some leeway on that timeline. But the goal is to have a tenant moving into that property almost as soon as construction is complete. And then it's cash flowing virtually from day one so that you have a great cash flowing asset right at that time. So if you're ready to do that, you can click on the book a call tab at morrisinvest.com and also leave us a voicemail question if you have any questions you want answered here in real estate investing. Now go out there, take action, become a real estate investor. I believe it's the number one way to build wealth. We'll see you next time, everyone.